Welcome to Charts Today. It's Wednesday, the 6th of May, and we are looking at the dollar here. Interestingly, that's the long-term chart, but if you look at the medium term, we are still in this range, and this range has now been going on for so long that when it breaks, it will be significant. That's the key thing. The longer that range goes on, the bigger the significance of a break of that range, and then we'll see a move very quickly in either direction. Looking just at crude oil, Brent crude is sitting just pulled back. And the key thing to just remember in your mind is 105, 115. That's now the $10 trading range. If we break below 105, that's bearish for crude. That will happen on good news in the Gulf. And if we break above 115, that'll be bad news in the Gulf, and the price will go higher. And the key thing there is it's just the uncertainty at the moment, which has got us in a sideways market. But big upside targets if we break higher. So looking at what's going on elsewhere, we've got Bitcoin still looking stronger. Starting to discount that downside target now. If I look at the short term, there's still upside targets there. Looking at the US stocks, really just pushing higher all the time. Really interesting that we've got the Nasdaq just now really starting to run, so significant, and opening higher today on that basis. UK market up strongly. Most markets reacting to a truce in the Middle East with an attempt to get an agreement. So we are seeing markets responding positively to that, even China. And if we look at bond yields, this is still the bigger concern for markets. There's the medium-term chart for Japan. The short-term target's now to 2.8. The big news in bond markets yesterday was the UK bonds. The 10-year was hitting sort of 18-year highs, and the 30-year was actually really significant. Now just touched 5.8%, and if you look back, we've not seen that level since the late 90s. So that's a 28-year high, quite significant there. And the UK government must be really wishing they borrowed much more back when rates were extremely low. Now there's not a lot of issuance going on at the 30-year, much more at the 10. But this is just starting to show that the long-term prospects for the UK economy, the global markets don't see them as bright and positive. And we've got things like the elections, local elections tomorrow, which are creating some jitters as well. The Aussie bond yield also kicking higher as well. But if we look at the US, which is obviously the main thing to watch for global bond yields, we are seeing here that we're not quite making new highs, although the targets are there. The other thing that was interesting is that the Dow Jones is still not yet making a new high, which just tells us that is the market has been driven by the smaller or the middle cap stocks. And tech is back in favor. Looking at just some of the other products, we've got big moves in soft commodities. I produced my soft commodity report for clients yesterday. Sugar now trading in a range of around 13, 16. So that's interesting that we've gone from a downtrend into that range. We were positive on wheat and corn. We've got upside targets there, medium term. Corn needs to break that 475 level. Gold is up this morning. We're up 2.5%. So we've found some support at 4,500. Looking at the 60-minute chart, we gave an upside target there. So we're moving towards that. Silver up 4%. So we're starting to see moves there. And if we look at the tech majors, we still haven't made a new high yet on Apple. Looking at the chart, but we're close. Amazon was the first Mag 7 to make a new high. That target given back in June at around 212 to 280 has now been met. So you had to be patient. You had to live with a bit of a drawdown. You may well not have done that, but it has been met. These targets for the short-term charts telling you we can still go higher still. Alphabet, upside target there as well. Microsoft weaker. The underperformers, Microsoft and Meta, still didn't have a great day yesterday. And NVIDIA is really struggling to make that new high, even though the results for NVIDIA have been stellar. And Tesla has up a new unactivated upside target, but still below the cloud. Looking at the Dow 30, Caterpillar with a star there yesterday, and continuing to those targets. Go to the 60-minute chart, you've got targets there as well. And we talked about Apple. Cisco, quite interesting, back in favor, upside targets. A lot of new upside targets, really interesting there. And then if we go to the NASDAQ, you can see the top performers here were Intel up 13%, Micron up 11%. Chip demand is going through the roof. And then if we look at the UK market this morning, just quickly, we have got still RELX. I mean, gosh, this one has been a real downtrend given we are potentially a recovery, but below the cloud, a risky one. But just looking at some of the retailers, M&S down 3%, Tesco down 2%. So it's not across the board. We're seeing a pullback in BP with that oil price. When we go to the upside, resource stocks looking quite strong. Anglo American up 4%, Antofagasta up nearly 4%, Rio up 3%. We did see HSBC falling away yesterday with Middle East crisis, but they are recovering some ground this morning. And interesting to see that we've got some banks also recovering in sympathy, but they have had a pullback. So that's it for today. Keep an eye on those targets, and remember, you can do these price targets on any chart you like. Until tomorrow, happy charting. Bye for now.